Hello, this is Laura with Jot and Tittle Typewriters. I've got a Smith Coronet Automatic 12 for you from the 1960s. And this is the original metallic brown color, and it's actually very handsome. I'm personally not a huge fan of brown, but this looks really, really nice. Very few marks on this typewriter. And so I'm gonna show you how to use the Smith Coronet Automatic 12. I have multiple videos with this machine, and so if you have one, I highly recommend watching several of them because each video, even though there's a lot of similarities, sometimes I will pull out nuggets that are different in each one. That's really going to help you use your typewriter better. So let's go ahead and get started. This is your carriage, the Automatic 12. It gets its name from a 12-inch carriage, which I always recommend for those of you who are going to be doing crafting. Or, like, this is my favorite, one of my favorite typewriters to recommend for homeschoolers. So if you are looking for a typewriter to gift to your kids, this is an excellent one. I recommend the larger carriage because who knows? The kids are so creative. Crafters, y'all are so creative. Who knows what you may come up with that you could use your typewriter for. And so the larger carriage gives you flexibility to use with different size paper. Now it is okay to use cardstock on your typewriters. It's not going to hurt the typewriter at all. But if your cardstock is too thick, it may bend your cardstock. So just FYI. All right, so back here is the paper holder. So if you're going to be doing a long prose or something like that, you definitely want to use that because as you get to the end of your paper, that paper is going to flop way over and it hits the table. And I just find it kind of annoying. So I do use the paper holder. Here's your margins. You press and you drag. Okay, so wherever you want to set your margins for your paper. So what I recommend is you load your paper first, then set your margins. And then use your paper guide as well because it helps you keep your margins consistent. And you can use your paper guide moves all the way here or all the way back, however you want to set that. Right here is a paper release. This comes in handy for when you're ready to pull out the paper, or if you load it and it's crooked, just pull forward on that release lever and you can straighten that out because it releases the tension on the paper. Now to move this carriage, there's a lever behind each of these side handles. So you just pull that lever in while holding the carriage because the carriage has a drawband. And as soon as you release that, it's going to want to pull the carriage to the left. So you pull that in while holding the carriage and then you can go back and forth. You can hear this has a very nice sounding strong bell. So for those of you new to typewriters, the bell lets you know that you are at the end of your line. Basically, you've reached where you've set your margin. Most typewriters allow you to have anywhere from like 2 to 5 characters, which you can finish up a word once you hear the bell. Some stop right away. It just depends on your typewriter. But once you get to the end, eventually it's just going to completely stop. There is nothing wrong with your typewriter. You just need to either hit the margin release button, which is this MR, or hit your return handle, which this one is a power return. Hit your power return and go to the next line. Now, when you do hit the power return button, it's going to advance either 1, 2, or 3 lines. Your line selector is right here, so you choose which line you would like to use, which line spacing you would like for your paper or your project. Also, on the left side of the carriage, you are going to see, let me pull this over, you are going to see this black button. Now what that's for is when you turn the handle, you can hear it click. Okay? That's clicking every half of a line. But let's say you're filling out a form and you're trying to line up where you need to type on that form and it's not lining up just right. Right here, if you press this button while turning the handle, it releases the roller so you can do fine adjusting. And so that's what that is for. Okay, let's open the top. We'll pull that forward and inside you're going to see a universal ribbon. We've put in a new ribbon for you. We do carry ribbons on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. And when it is time to replace your ribbon, you just simply, it just pulls out. And then you can pop a new one in. Now there's a little pin that sticks up, and you need to make sure one of those 4 holes fits over that pin. So you may need to adjust it a little bit. Now, a couple of things, and this is probably the most important information that you can get from this video. And so this is I'm getting ready to tell you the number one way to fix your typewriter when you have issues most of the time. When you get to the end of the spool, your typewriter may stop. It may type and feel really weird and funny. The font may look really faint, or it's just not going to feel right. Some typewriters will auto reverse their spool. Most of the time, they don't. And you need to manually reverse that spool. So the instant your typewriter starts not working right, stop. And the first thing you need to do is reverse the direction. Even when you first buy the typewriter and you unpack it, this lever gets pushed around in my typing demos, in our packing, in shipping, in you moving it around. So even though it might be a brand new ribbon, if it gets pushed in a certain direction when you go to type, nothing's going to happen, and you're going to be like, you sent me a broken typewriter. No, you need to hit your ribbon reversal. Okay? And you should be able to reverse the direction of this ribbon like 20, 30, 40, 50 times, no joke, before you need to replace this ribbon, because there's a lot of ink in there. So you'll just go back and forth, and then when the ink is all used up, you can pop a new one in there. Okay? Let us know if you have questions about that. I'm going to close that. See, like, I don't remember where this was initially set. So we'll find out, or if whoever gets this, you'll find out if the ribbon is, which direction the ribbon is going. Okay, here's the tab. You're set to your tab here. You clear it. Copy set. This really just determines how hard your strike bars are going to hit your paper, which determines how dark or light your font appears. This is a power return. And then your power button is right here. Your color selector is also on the right side. Let's go ahead and do a typing demo. Okay, so I'm going to just set my paper right here and then turn the handle, and that should easily pull it through. Always pull your bar forward. And then I like to come up like halfway to make sure it's even. And I got it really, really close. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust it anyway. So let me pull this. Here's your paper release. I'm going to pull that forward and then release it when I've got it even. Okay, so let's go back down, and then now I'm going to check my margins. So when I do a typing demo, I like really narrow margins, so I'm going to bring it down there. All right, I'm going to turn on the typewriter. Now, with electric typewriters, I always like to wait 10 to 15 seconds just to make sure that that motor kicks in. And to show you, I don't know if you can see it, but here's your motor right here, and it's turning. Sometimes that motor will rub up against the side of this and make some noises, and so if you kind of hear this grinding noise, it may be rubbing up the side. And so what I do is gently, very gently, I just kind of nudge the cover over to the left, and then it should stop grinding. But either way, I like to make sure that that motor is nice, it's really going before I start typing. All right, so this is a 1960s. Coronet Automatic 12. Nice font, really clear and crisp. I like to recommend these typewriters for kids because as far as typing goes, the pressure needed to type is very light. It's much similar to a computer than a manual typewriter. Let's go ahead and check out all the keys on this. Let's see if there's a tab set. Yeah, there's a tab set. So lock. So just like a computer, when you hit shift, it's going to do the upper symbols or the capital. And the shift lock just locks it in place. So this so far just feels really good. I've typed on it already and I didn't have any issues, but oops. Oh, so I'm going to double check the backspace. It works really well. Some people think the backspace is supposed to erase. It does not erase. It simply backspaces. So if you make a mistake while using a typewriter, guess what? It's okay. You just X through that baby, or you put dashes through it, or you can use a pencil eraser, and sometimes you can find like whiteout or something. But if you do use whiteout, please make sure it's completely dry before typing over it again, because then it gets down into the on the type bars and it's really sticky and icky to clean off. Forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, backspace. Oh, it's okay to make mistakes. It's just part of typing. If you're typing and you have a perfect page with no mistakes on it, you get a star. It's just part of the experience. And so it's a good lesson to learn to embrace our mistakes. All right, let's do some sentences. So you heard the bell. The bell said, hey, you're at the end of the line, and I hit return. Now, if I wanted to keep going, okay, so now it's going to stop on anyway, so the margin release, when you hit that, allows you to keep going if you need to, okay? So let's hit the return. Now let's try the red ribbon. Backspace. Okay, so this types very well. Oh, perfect, perfect. Oh, I'm so glad this happened. I love to show this to people. So, look, I could tell as soon as I start typing, it didn't feel right, and it started typing in the black, and it wasn't hitting it. So if I open this up, look how tight that ribbon is. That means I'm at the end of the spool. So it was going, I had switched it to the wrong direction. Not that it was wrong, but just the shorter direction. So watch what happens when I hit rib reversal. This will loosen up right away. Did you see the tension? All right, so let me type that again. And I wish there was like a notification, hey, end a ribbon, but it doesn't. So you just have to be aware. So types very well. Excellent for kids, students, active writers. This is a great everyday, everyone machine. All right, so you can, I don't know if you can see the difference immediately. The type went right back to where it needed to be. This is an extremely great working typewriter. I haven't had any issues with it, and this is my second typing demo on this one. So for those of you, and these are really affordable. And again, this is a good family typewriter. Everybody in the family can use this, including your youngest kids. So a nice option for Christmas if you guys are looking. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to click on the link in the description below so you can see up close photos, and also it'll take you to our shop and you can see what we have in stock. Keep in mind we sell out really fast, so there's usually only a couple typewriters available at a time. But check, between now and the end of December, we're uploading new typewriters every day. So just check every day. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel as I also give tips and such. And you all have a blessed day.